Hello, I'm Keith Merrick, and I will be simplifying this trig expression. First thing you want to do is take this sine squared plus cosine squared and turn it into 1 because that's a Pythagorean identity. Now we have this. And I want to make common denominators so we can turn this all into one fraction. So we can take this 1 and make it tan x over tangent x. And now we can combine the two fractions. So now we turn this into this, and for our next step I want to factor out a tangent, and so before we do that, I want to turn this cotangent into 1 over tangent. So now we have the 1 over tangent right here. So now we're going to factor out a tangent from this equation. So tan x, so we have secant squared. Really we can write this as secant squared over tangent x. And so when we factor out this tangent, we're going to have to multiply it back in. So we'll need to make the denominator 1 degree higher on tangent. So when it gets multiplied, it'll become 1 over tangent. And then just minus 1 over tan x. So now that we've gotten it here, we can cross out the tangents, and now we're just left with secant squared x over tangent squared of x minus 1. And so then all we need to do is simplify this fraction, and so we will use secant squared's reciprocal identity and tangent squared's quotient identity. So secant squared's reciprocal identity is 1 over cosine squared x, and tangent squared's quotient identity is sine squared over cosine squared. And we'll take this fraction, flip it around and multiply it here. So it's also like multiplying this fraction by cosine squared over sine squared. So we can cross out these cosine squared of x. And so now we're left with 1 over sine squared of x, which is the reciprocal identity to cosecant squared. And we need to bring this minus 1 down. So from there, this is a Pythagorean identity. Cotangent squared x plus 1 equals cosecant squared x. And we see that we subtract the 1 over, it becomes this expression. So that just leaves us with the answer being cotangent squared. And now I want to show you an easier way we can simplify this. Instead of focusing on this part, we'll focus on the fraction part. And we can rewrite this as secant squared x over one times cotangent x over tan x. And specifically, we're gonna focus on this part first. So we're gonna change tangent to its reciprocal identity, or one over cotangent. So we'll multiply by its reciprocal to get times cotangent x. And then this all comes out to secant squared x cotangent squared x. So now we need to simplify this down. And we can do it again by using the reciprocal identity of secant squared, which is 1 over cosine squared. And the quotient identity for cotangent squared x, which is cosine squared over sine squared. We can see how we have the two cosine squares in the different parts of the fraction, one in the numerator, one in the denominator, so we can go and cancel those out. Again, leaving us with 1 over sine squared of x, which is cosecant squared of x. And now we gotta deal with this part, which is a Pythagorean identity. Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. And we can't just put plus 1, we have to remember to bring this negative sign down as well. So we have cosecant squared minus 1, which is again the same Pythagorean identity. Cotangent squared plus 1 equals cotangent squared, equals cosecant squared. Just add 1 to both sides. It matches, so it's a correct identity.